In today's video, I'd like to share with you 5 productivity tools that I cannot live without as a solo entrepreneur. When you're doing most of the work yourself, things can quickly pile up. And the more they pile up, the more you need tools and processes to help you get through your work, not quickly, but efficiently. And these are the 5 particular tools that I use to do that. So we start here with Notion. Now, Notion has become increasingly popular over the last 12 months, and admittedly, I did jump on that bandwagon, and I honestly haven't turned back since. One of the big reasons why is that it's one of the few workspace productivity project management tools I've found that is just as suitable for teams as it is for those of you who work like me who mainly work solo. I tend to find with most sort of workspace tools like this that are to do with, tracking projects or taking notes or anything like that, they're all mainly focused on teams and collaboration, and setups and features for, people working solo are kind of an afterthought. And when I've used things in the past like Asana or something like that, I've always felt like this is not quite tailored to my specific needs, whereas Notion very much is. In my workspace, I can divide between private and workspace. So I have, a content calendar, I have my podcast manager set up here, so I have a full list of episodes. I can fill this template in for upcoming guests. Sorry, here's the analytics that we have, and then I can click on any episode of here, and there's a list for that. Likewise, over in my private, I can have personal finance tracking, list of recipes, anything like that. So this handles not just my work, but my private life as well. And it's a lot more intuitive and easier to tailor to the way I work than a lot of other tools out there. Moving on into the realm of email, we get to SaneBox. SaneBox is a extension for your email. I use it here in Gmail that automatically filters messages into a select number of folders. So here in my folders, I have Sane Black Hole, which is kind of for junk, spam, things that are never going to get tended to. I have Sane Later, emails that I do need to deal with, but not right away, so I can kind of hide them out of my inbox and put them in that Sane Later folder and have them reappear at a set date of my choosing. Sane next month, same week, and Sane tomorrow function on a similar principle, except obviously rather than setting the date, it's set for you. And then saying no replies, and especially same receipts, they kind of make sense. All my receipts go into a single folder. Here I am in the saved news folder. So this keeps all these newsletters and things that I do want to look at, but they're just not important, and I don't want them cluttering my inbox when I'm trying to focus on exact messages. They're all in one folder. Now, the way SaneBox does this is it uses AI. So you set up your email, you configure your SaneBox settings, and it uses AI to learn where emails are supposed to go. And first, it doesn't get it 100% right, and that's fine, because all you need to do is you can just click an email and drag it into any of these relevant folders. And the more you do that, the more the AI model learns and understands where emails, with different subjects, different senders, etc., are supposed to go. And what this means for me is it allows me to spend less time in my Gmail and my other email accounts, because I have this installed elsewhere as well. It means I'm not pouring through trying to find the right message. It keeps my inbox full of only those messages that are absolutely super important to me at the right time. And then I don't have to spend as much time here. I can get on and do other things. Sticking with email, you'll notice this pause inbox button here. I also use Boomerang for Gmail. And again, I believe Boomerang is also available for other platforms. I know it's definitely available for Outlook and email clients on Android and iPhone. And what this does is a couple of things, as well as I can pause my inbox to stop new messages coming in. And I don't really use this inbox pause feature because I find that Sanebox itself does such a good job of keeping my inbox pretty clean and clear that I never feel overwhelmed. But it's good to know that, if I didn't have Sanebox for some reason and there were a ton of emails and it was all too much, that I could hit it on pause. The real reason I use it is for this feature down here, where I can schedule my emails to be sent out later and to organize schedule meetings directly from in with my email. So sometimes I work with people overseas. They're sleeping when I'm at work. I'm at work when they're sleeping. So to ensure I get a better chance of my emails actually getting seen in their inbox when they're actually at the desk, I use the send later, so clients are not getting emails in the middle of the night that then get pushed halfway down their inbox by other stuff, and therefore my message gets missed. So that is Boomerang. Moving on, another tool that I'm sure some of you will already be well familiar with, which is the messaging platform Slack. Although I do work mainly solo, you know, no man is an island, as they say, and I do communicate with other people, other freelancers, clients, etc., etc. And Slack just helps me to keep all of my messages in one place, and I like that it integrates with Notion and other tools as well. So it just means that I can, if I'm talking to a client, for example, I can integrate with Google Drive, and I can get my links into from Google Drive Docs, links to those documents in Slack. And it just means less, clicking around from tab to tab. It just means I can stay exactly where I am. The next tool that I use is another very popular one. It is Zapier, which kind of acts as a bridge between other third-party tools that don't necessarily integrate seamlessly with one another. Tools that may not necessarily have a direct ability to work. Zapier acts as a middle ground and puts them together. So, here's the Zapier dashboard, and Zaps are the automated workflows, and there's a lot that we can look at. And this is one that I started on here with, we're going to every time a client anytime a potential client, fills in one of my Google Forms as my lead capture form, it adds that to a database on Notion, and then I can set a reminder to follow that up. And I like that I can just tell the AI what I'm supposed to do, and then I can just click and add that step in there, and then add this step in there, and then all I need to do is configure my details, and away you go. Now my Google Forms and my Notion database are connected, the sync, they're integrated, and I haven't had to do very much at all. That took like less than a minute. Moving on, we come to RescueTime. And on those rare occasions when even RescueTime isn't helping me stay on track with what I'm supposed to doing, I go to my.timestream.app to use the very simple, straightforward Pomodoro timer. Those of you familiar with this technique will know that it's about working in short bursts and then taking a short break and then another short burst. So I would set my timer for 25 minutes. The clock starts ticking down. As that 25 minutes elapses, I do real high intensity focus work. When the 25 minutes elapses, I step away from my screen, I take a short break, then I get back for another 25, and so on until such time as I take a longer break. Now, there is not much to this app. I basically use this timer, but there are things that you can look at. You have your activities for the day and tasks and entries and tags, and that's all well and good. The only problem with this is that all that information is basically saved in your browser. So when you come back, if you're working on a different device or a different web browser, when you come back to do your next set, any information from this session will no longer be there. Whether that's a deal breaker to you or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that these are the 5 tools that I really couldn't do without. So I have Notion for overall organizing, planning, and project tracking. I have SameBox, which is an invaluable tool for dealing with my email. I have Boomerang, mainly for sending messages later in the day and the ability to schedule meetings. Slack for communication, Zapier for integrations, RescueTime for anti-distraction, and if those anti-distractions tools are not working, I turn to TimeStream.